Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. I'm so excited to be doing this again. We are back with some more Lone Wolf adventures, Old Man Lone Wolf. So the first two episodes did pretty good. You guys seem to enjoy watching me play through the first book in the Lone Wolf stuff. So I've decided to come back and do some more episodes. We're gonna do book 2. Now, just so that everybody knows, I'm bringing out my little note card so I can remember. We've got the way we're doing this. The way we're doing this is we got a couple of rules. I used a D&D 5th edition character generator to kind of generate the backstory of the character that I'm playing, and I'm going to try and role play his decisions. Not necessarily make the decisions that I think are the smartest, but make the decisions that the character would make. Luckily, they're kind of one and the same with this guy. So right now I'm playing Claude Van Helgen. He was sent to the Lone Wolf Monastery because he had this natural fighting ability. He hates fighting, but it's a natural fighting ability that his father saw, and then the Kai Wolves saw, so we were sent there for that. He has kind of almost like slight social, like he's much more like logic-based than emotion-based, so, and he's much more about figuring things out. Like, it's worth it to figure stuff out even if people die, sort of thing. So he's a little bit of a narcissist, values the knowledge, and he's highly intelligent. So that's Claude. He actually survived through the entire book, and I think I made the rules a little bit lenient. So the way I'm doing this is as you can die in this game. You can very easily die in this game. And I want to kind of make it fun, kind of make it interesting. So here's how we're going to do this from here on out, okay? Because the first time, I don't think the rules were strict enough. So we're going to do it like this. We are going to say that I can save 3 times in a book. 3 total times, period. Not once every 6 rounds, whatever, 3 times. I choose when, but 3 times. If I die, I get 3 deaths, too. 3 total deaths with a character to rewind back to the spot, to the save. If I die 3 times with that character, kind of video game rules. If I die 3 times with that character, he's completely dead, and I have to return to the beginning of the book that I'm on, and I have to generate a whole new character and start from scratch. So, interesting stuff, right? Interesting stuff. However, Claude actually got through. He actually survived. We actually survived. So let's go through the story so far real quick. I do want to give a quick shout out. There is a pilot episode on a channel of a friend of mine, William Hohen, who did this and gave me the idea to do it. So I just want to shout him out again. He's actually watched both of these and commented on them. I felt almost like I was stealing when I decided to do this. I asked him ahead of time. But you should go check out his pilot episode, and he's looking to potentially stream it in the future, which I hope he does. I'm not a guy who can necessarily watch streams, but I would watch that back, and I would enjoy it quite a bit. So check him out if you get a chance. So back with our stuff. Let's go. Story. Oh, and the 3 saves don't include the save to start the book. Okay? So if I start the book, I've started it. I'm not going to worry about that first save. It's 3 saves after that. Alright, so story so far. Let's recap. In the northern land of Summerland, it has been custom for many centuries to send children of the warrior lords to the monastery of Kai. There they are taught in the skills and disciplines of their noble fathers. Think Fantasy Jedi, kind of. They've got some of the same force power kind of stuff. In olden times, during the age of the Black Moon, the Dark Lords waged war on Summerland. The conflict was long and a bitter trial of strength that ended in victory for the Summerlending at the Great Battle of Mackengorge. King Ulnar and his allies of Durinor broke the Dark Lord armies at the pass of Moytura and forced them back into the bottomless abyss of the Mackengorge. Vashna, mightiest of the Dark Lords, was slain upon the sword of King Ulnar, called the Summer Sword, the Sword of the Sun. Since that age, the Dark Lords have vowed vengeance upon Summerland and the House Ulnar. You, being me, are Lone Wolf, in this case Claude Van Helgen, the Lone Wolf, a young Kai initiate who was learning the secret skills of the Kai Lords. 2 days ago, your peaceful country was plunged into war when a vast Dark Lord army suddenly invaded Summerland and completely destroyed the Kai Monastery. All the Kylords were in attendance for the feast of the Famarn. Famarn. That's a hard pronunciation. Famarn. And all were killed at the monastery as the monastery was surrounded and destroyed. Or at least we're going to say that for now. If Claude dies, we're going to have to figure out a way somebody else survived. You knew your first task had to be to warn the king. For without the Kylords to lead their armies, your country, Summerland, would be unable to mobilize in time to drive the Dark Lords back. Your journey to the capital was perilous indeed. The enemy had overrun much of the country and were marching upon Homeguard, the capital itself. But despite the many dangers, you fought your way to the capital and delivered the warning to the king's court. There you were greatly praised for your skill and bravery, but told your mission was not complete. With the Kylords dead, there remained only one power in all of Magnamund that could save your people from the Dark Lords, and that would be the Summer Sword, previously mentioned. After the defeat of Vashna, the Summer Sword had been bestowed upon the allies of Durnor as a mark of trust and allegiance that exists between the two kingdoms. In return, King Alnin of Durnor gave Summerland a magnificent golden ring bearing the royal arms of Durnor. This ring is known as the Seal of Hammerdal. At the time, King Alnin vowed that if ever the shadow of the West would rise again to threaten Summerland, Durnor would come to the aid of their ally. The king has given you the Seal of Hammerdal. Your quest is to travel to Durnor to fetch the Summer Sword back. But meanwhile, the enemy have broken through the outer defenses to the capital and are preparing to besiege the city wall. As Captain Deval of the King's Guard leads you to the Royal Armory to equip for your mission, the King's words keep coming back to you. 40 days, Lone Wolf. We have strength to stand against them for only 40 days. All right, now I think I get to level up here. Game rules. I know the game rules. Through your experiences in Book 1, you've learned new skills. You may choose one extra Kai discipline to add to your action chart. Now, read the section on your equipment in Book 2 carefully. You may also carry weapons and special items, blah, blah, blah. Wounded in combat, you will lose. Right. Okay, so next. Kai disciplines. So I think I get to choose one more. Is all I get to choose. So let's take a look at the action chart, see what we have right now. We've got Sixth Sense, Healing, Mind Shield, Mind Over Matter, Weapon Skill. Mind Over Matter was almost never used. Our Weapon Skill is in Quarterstaff, but we've got Sixth Sense, Healing, Mind Shield. I think Sixth Sense and Healing really came in handy. We got 9 gold crowns. Our combat skill is really high because he's got that natural combat. We also have a chainmail waistcoat, +4. Putting our endurance up to a 24. We have an axe and a longsword, neither one that we're good at fighting with. No meals. And yeah, that's where we are. So let's head back to this. So we get to choose one new ability, I believe. And I don't know what would Claude Van Helgen choose. This is the real decision here. Because part of me, he did a lot of stuff. He did a lot of fighting and whatnot, but you don't really get to pick a weapon skill. I think it's a random choice. If you choose weapon skill, right weapon skill. I already have weapon skill. Can I get another weapon skill? Oh, I can't. It's already there. So I have a quarterstaff. So I can't give myself the weapon skill and sword. That's a little obnoxious. It's okay though. It's a little obnoxious. So I could choose Mind Blast. I could get some Animal Kinship. I want to say neither one of those were useful in the last book. Everything was immune to Mind Blast, and Animal Kinship, I don't think I met an animal once that I could talk to. Tracking, I could have used a couple of times, and Hunting I could really use for the meals. Camouflage makes a lot of sense for his character too, because he did a lot of hiding last time. You know what? I'm trying to roleplay the characters. That's what I promised I would do. So I'm gonna pick Camouflage. Alright. So I've picked Camouflage. You get the Seal of Hammerdal. Great. Equipment. Alright. Captain Dial leads you to the Royal Armory. Blah 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 blah. To find out how much gold. Wait, Duval hands you a pouch of gold for your journey. To find out how much gold is in the pouch, pick a random number on the random number. Let's do it. 3. So I get an extra 13. So now I got 13 gold crowns. Oh, add 10 to the number you picked. Yeah. So I'm up. I get quite a bit now. I got over 20, right? 22. Nice. Nice. All right. So, gold crown section of your action chart. Successfully complete book 1. You may add this sum total to any crowns you already possess. So I'm at the armory. I can take meals. I've got hunting. I don't need meals anymore. No, I didn't. I took camouflage. Don't really need a healing potion because I got the healing. I'm going to hope. I could really use a quarterstaff. Do I get to choose or is it random? On a large table in the center of the armory, a number of items have been laid out for your choice. You may take 2 of the following. Okay. If you are already carrying weapons from book 1, you can take this opportunity to exchange one or both of them. List the 2 items you choose on your action chart. Okay. Carry equipment. Okay. Alrighty. I need to get the quarterstaff, I think, because I actually have combat in that, right? It's not letting me take it. Is there another place to actually, like, take it? Oh, there we go. Available objects. Here we go. So I want to take the quarterstaff, right? Oh, I need to get rid of my... Okay. So let's get rid of the axe. Because the sword was a prince's sword. I feel like I need to have that. So let's drop the axe. Do you want to drop the axe? Yes. So axe is gone. Let's go back to fire. Let's pick up this quarterstaff. Oop. So I got the quarterstaff now. Great. Get that +2 to my combat skill because I got that quarterstaff stuff. Now, I don't need meals. Right? I really don't. I don't know what else to take. Because I've got... No, I do need meals. I keep forgetting. I didn't take hunting. So let's take a meal then. That's it. I think that's all I could take, right? I may take any 2 of the following. Both meals count as 1 object. Oh, okay. So we'll take another meal. Sweet. So I got 2 meals. All right. So real quick, let's jump over the action chart. Let's make sure we're fighting with the quarterstaff. Set as current weapon. Cool. So quarterstaff is my current weapon. So, yeah. Why am I not fighting with a higher CS then? Pick any number and use away from the random number timer. And then find the corresponding weapon from below this weapon in which you have skill. 2 points. So it's when I add. So hopefully that'll go up to a 21 when I get into a fight. Alright, so he's got his quarterstaff. We got the meals. Let's move on. Rules for combat. I understand the combat. We did that last time. Levels of Kai training. So you begin Lone Wolf Adventures at this level, which is Initiate. So I would be an aspirant, right? Beyond the Mist. Does it say that on my action chart? No, it doesn't. Okay, whatever. I don't know why this is here then. Okay, let's move on. Kai Wisdom. Your mission can be one of great danger for the Dark Lords and their servants, our cruel and fierce enemy who will give and expect no mercy. Use the map to steer your right course to the capital. Make notes as you progress through the story. For each of them, great adventures, many things you will find in adventures, some special items. Alright, here we go! Book 2. Fire on the water, begin. Alright, so this is... We've done all this. I'm going to take the first save here. This is the free save that I was talking about just to begin the book so I don't have to do the character progression again, basically. So we're just going to save it up. We'll actually put free Save. Claude Von Helgen. Alright. So, back to fire in the water. Captain Duval and his guards escort you to the Citadel gate, where a small covered wagon awaits you. As soon as you clamber in, the gates are thrown open, and you are hurried away through the crowded streets of Holmgard. After a short but uncomfortable journey, the wagon stops, and the driver pulls open the canvas flap. "This is the quay, my lord. There is your ship, the Green Scepter." As he speaks, the driver points across the quay to a sleek trade caravel anchored near the harbor wall. "The first mate's name is Ronan. You will find him waiting for you across the square in a Good Cheer Inn." Then the driver bids you farewell and quickly disappears into the teeming crowds. You reach the inn and find the front doors locked and the window shutters barred. You are trying to decide what you want to do next when I have... dropping stuff. Sorry, everybody. I just totally dropped and potentially broke my only controller. That's awesome. Love to see that. All right. You reach the end of fun, but door's locked when a hand grabs your arm and you are pulled into the darkness. If you wish to draw your weapon and attack, you're on an assailant. If you wish to try, pull free of the grasp. We're going to pull free of the grasp. "Forgive me, my lord. I did not mean to startle you." The man seems nervous, and the open hand that is extended towards you is shaking quite visibly. With some caution, you accept a gesture of friendship and sit with the man at the tavern table. That place is deserted, save for a couple of mice gnawing at a large chunk of cheese. Captain Kelman has instructed me to take you to the Green Scepter, but only if I am sure that you are a Kylord that they call Lone Wolf. Can you prove your identity? You decide you must show your mastery of the Kai disciplines. So if I wish to just demonstrate with your Kai discipline of healing, if you wish to demonstrate with your Kai discipline of mind blast, I don't have that. Kai discipline of weapon skill, Kai discipline of animal kinship, don't have that. If you wish to demonstrate with the Kai discipline of mind over matter, if you do not possess any of the above skills, we'll go with mind over matter. Pointing at a jug of ale on the bar, you tell the sailor to watch very closely. Closing your eyes, you concentrate on the jug, and you can picture it in your mind's eye as you will the jug to rise in the air. You hear the sailor gasp in amazement. "Well, that doesn't look good." "You are a Kylord indeed," says the sailor, but the astonishment on his face quickly changes to an unpleasant sneer. "Or should I say you were?" As he speaks, the door crashes open behind you, and you turn to see 3 harbor thugs advancing towards you. Each is armed with a scimitar, and you have no choice but to fight all 3 as one enemy. Good gravy. Well, we're starting off hard, aren't we? Fire on the water. Combat ratio is 3. So, did that give me a +2? I can't even tell if it gave me the +2 or not. No, it wouldn't have given me a +2. Why didn't they give me a +2 from the quarterstaff stuff? I've got it selected as my... Oh, it wasn't my... Oh, I hadn't clicked it. Okay. So now... That's weird, because this points to it. I see. Okay, so now I'm up to a 21. Thank God I figured that out before I went into this fight. Combo ratio is up to a 5 now. Pulling the quarterstaff. Finally have a quarterstaff. You may evade after 2 rounds of combat by running out the side door. If you win this combat, turn to 3-3-3. Alright. First fight of the day, guys. They come at me. I got the quarterstaff. Let's do the Bruce Lee thing. Getting a little Sifu with it. No, I don't want that. Whoopsie. Play turn. Lone Wolf takes 3 damage. No. Take 8 damage? Jeez. Took a lot of damage there for having a combat ratio of +5. That makes me nervous. Okay. Play turn. What? Someone want to explain to me how I'm dead already? Oh no, I did the damage. Oh my god. That's the I was reading it all wrong. Woo! I was like, no! So he hands them their asses, man. Quarterstaff face, quarterstaff, just all seafood up. Pow, 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 pow. They don't know what's going on. All right, so I didn't even need to run. Like 2 rounds is all it took. The sailor who claimed to be the first mate Ronan seems to have escaped during the fight. You quickly search the bodies of the harbor thugs, but find nothing of value. However, you do notice that each of them has a tattoo of a serpent on their left wrist. Whoever sent them to kill you must already know the importance of your quest. You leave the tavern by the side door and discover the dead body of the sailor lying beneath some stairs. Inside the collar of his blood-stained jacket is a tag bearing the name Ronan. What? Oh, outside the tavern. This must be the real Ronan. He has been murdered. You cover the body and turn towards the quay, where the green scepter is anchored about 300 yards from the harbor wall. If you wish to use one of the many small boats or coracles that are roped at the quayside, if you wish to hunt down the imposter who pretended to be Ronan. He's not a hunt down sort of guy. He's let's go, let's get this done. So we're gonna use the boats. He won the win. He got the fight, you know. All right. Should I save? Should I take my first save? I think I'm gonna take my first save right here. Save game. I think the fact that I got so lucky with my combat skill is gonna make it hard to kill CVH. So we'll have to see. Alright, back to Fire on the Water. Let's do this. As you paddle towards the sleek trade caravel, you notice to your surprise that the boarding ladder has been pulled up. A mean-looking sailor leans over the gunwale and curses at you. He seems to think that you are a refugee trying to stow away on board. But when you shout that you are Lone Wolf and you were ambushed by an imposter at the tavern, the ladder is soon lowered again. As you climb over the side of the ship, you are met by a tall man in a golden braided uniform. His face is almost totally covered by a shock of bright red hair and bright red beard. "Haul anchor!" he booms. The crew spring to action, as if their very lives depended on it. The captain ushers you below into his cabin, where he pours 2 glasses of Wanlo, a strong spirit. His face shows concern as you tell him what happened. "There is evil treachery at work, and the enemy..." I screwed that up. "There be evil treachery at work, and the enemy already has plans afoot to thwart your quest." He begins when you've told your tale. "It seems that you have lost the element of surprise, and I have lost a courageous first mate. Let us only hope that the voyage to Durnor will be swift and safe." You leave him to go up on deck just in time to see the outline of Home Guard on the horizon. With mixed feelings of pride and apprehension, you descend the stairway to your cabin as the last spire of the capital disappears from view. Just pick a random number. Great. Love seeing that. 9, turn to 99. The following morning, you are awoken by the cry of the ship's lookout from high upon the crow's nest. "Ship ahoy! Off the port bow!" You clamber up the narrow ladder and join the captain at the stern. "Your eyes are younger than mine. See what you can make of her, my lord," he says, and hands you an ornate telescope. You can make out the red sails and black flag of a Lakuri pirate warship on the horizon. Sweet, sweet pirates. Pick a random number. Why do I gotta keep picking random numbers? Don't like this! Alright, turn to 163. We've a full sail and a sharp prow. There's not a warship in the northern seas that could catch the green scepter, says the, or specter. Scepter? Scepter, right? I'm probably completely wrong, but whatever. Says the captain. He is proved right, for the pirate ship soon disappears in the horizon. 25 years at sea, and I've never known a Lakuri pirates to venture this far north to raid, he says, stroking his beard thoughtfully. They must be after a valuable cargo, aye, to sail so far from the tropical islands. As the captain descends below deck to his cabin, you get an uneasy feeling that the valuable cargo may be you. 240. After 3 uneventful days at sea, you find shipboard life rather dreary. If you have the Kai discipline of healing, any endurance points that you may have lost on your adventure are so far restored. Great. So we healed from our little scuffle. This will bring your endurance points back. I'm sorry, excuse me, guys. This will bring your endurance point score back to the original one. If you do not possess this skill, restore half of any hit points you've lost in combat. On the afternoon of the 4th day, you are talking with an injured sailor upon deck when you smell smoke seeping from the hold. If you wish to enter the hold, turn to 29. If you wish to shout fire, turn to 236. If you wish to warn the captain, turn to 101. We're going to warn the captain. As you burst into his cabin, the captain looks up in surprise from his chart table. Fire in the hold, you gasp, breathless from your run. In an instant, the captain is through the door and ordering the crew to fill buckets with water and gather blankets to smother the fire. By the time you reach the forward hold, the smoke is dense. Suddenly, the ship is thrown into a frenzy as flames erupt from the hatch cover. It takes over an hour to contain the blaze, and the damage is great. The entire store of food and fresh water was in the hold, and the hull has been badly weakened. The captain climbs out of the smoking hold and approaches you. His face black with soot. He is carrying something in a bundle under his arm. We must talk in private, my lord, he says quietly, without replying. You turn to follow him to his cabin. Turn to 222. Some old school art. After taking care to close the door, the captain opens the mysterious bundle and tips the contents onto the cabin table. A large charred earthenware jug and several blackened rags drop in a heap. They give off a strange oily smell. This be no accidental fire, he says solemnly. This was an act of sabotage. The forward hole was the food store, yet I find this oiled jug and these soaked rags upon the floor. Someone on this ship is preparing to risk his life to stop us reaching Duranor. You both stare at the burnt rags as if they hold the answer to your question. Suddenly a cry from up on deck breaks the silence. Ship ahoy! Ship ahoy off the prop bore! Grabbing his sword and telescope, the captain disappears through the door and up the ladder to the deck above. Do you wish to follow? You wish to make a quick search of his cabin. I don't know. He's not a rogue. If I was playing like a thiefy kind of character, okay, but he's gonna follow. It seems our bird has flown, says the captain, pointing to the longboat, moving swiftly towards another ship on the horizon. She flies no flag, and her hull is of a strange shape. I've ne'er seen like that before. Butchering this dude's accent. You watch this longboat as the longboat reaches the mysterious ship. As if by magic, a sea of fog appears from nowhere and engulfs the vessel. Moments later, both the ship and the fog have disappeared. Pick a random number. I don't like these random numbers. Don't like them. 209. The crew start to whisper. You hear the words ghost ship and cursed voyage. But the muttering stops when the captain's voice booms out an order for all hands on deck. Only the creaking of the timbers can be heard as the Captain Kelman climbs to the rear deck to address the crew. Men! We're 3 days' sail from Port Bax. The fire has robbed us of our provisions, and our fresh water has been fouled. We shall have to steer a new course for Ragadorn, where we shall make good our repairs and replenish our stores. That is all. The crew seemed pleased by the captain's announcement and set about their duties with renewed vigor. The captain turns to you. We're about 8 hours from Ragadorn, my lord. My orders are to see you safely to Port Bax and pass you into the care of the Summerlending Council, Lord Lieutenant Rygar. But time is not our ally, and I fear the repairs may take a week or more to complete. When we drop anchor, you will have to find your own route to Duranor, by sea with us or alone by the coast road. As you turn to your cabin, the king's words haunt your thoughts. 40 days, Lone Wolf. We only have the strength to stand against them for 40 days. You do not have long enough to complete your dangerous mission. As dawn breaks, a fierce storm rises, and you are awoken by a violent rocking of the ship. The floor of your cabin is awash from the shouts of the crew, can be heard above above the howling wind. You quickly dress, gather up your equipment, and make your way to the deck. You are soon joined by the captain, who takes hold of your arm and orders you to return to your cabin. Suddenly, as you start to go down, there is a thunderous crack as high in the rigging, part of the mast snaps. You look up to see the shattered pole falling towards you. Oh, goody! Random number again. Sweet. I got my sixth sense couldn't help me with this. Should we end this episode here? We're going to do one more and then end the episode here. Okay. 78. You drop the chainmail waistcoat and lose an endurance. I don't like this! You dive backwards, but only just in time to avoid the falling mast as it snaps straight through the deck. You stagger upright and peer into the mass of the shattered timbers. Pinned beneath the broken mast is the lifeless body of Captain Kelman. Aw. Excuse me. As you stare in horror, a loud crack fills your air and the storm breaks open the already damaged hull of the Green Scepter. As the ship breaks up, you are hurled over the side into the raging sea. That's why I gotta drop the coat. Gasping for air, you claw your way up to the surface, but strike... Sorry about that, guys. I think I had, like, a piece of biscuit from breakfast stuck in my throat. Ugh. Obnoxious. Okay. Getting back into this. Gasping for air, you claw your way to the surface, but strike your head on the hatch cover, losing one endurance point and pull yourself into a makeshift raft. If you are wearing a chainmail waistcoat, you must discard it now, or you will surely drown. In the gray light of the storm, you watch as the broken ship sinks beneath the heaving sea. You are feeling dizzy and very sick. Hanging on to the cover with all your strength, you gradually slip into unconsciousness. When you eventually wake, the storm is past, and the only trace of the Green Scepter is a hatch is the hatch cover on which you lie. By the position of the sun, you suppose it is late afternoon. In the distance, you can see a small fishing boat, and beyond it, the coastline stretches out along the horizon. Would he try to go for the Smith fishing boat, or I think he'd try and go to the fishing boat. Alright, let's try and go to the fishing boat. Actually, we're going to end that episode here. Guys, I'm going to keep doing this. We're going to keep going through Fire on the Water. I'm having a lot of fun. Hope you guys are too. Doing this on behalf of Wizards Respite, as usual, for all of our actual plays and live plays and stuff. You can check out everything we have to offer. We do video games and TTRPGs here at Old Man Gaming. You can also buy a lot of cool merch and read a ton of really cool TTRPG articles on wizardsrespite.com. And yeah, you can also contact me at Old Man Gaming DH on Facebook. On X, I'm Old Man Gaming 9. And then you can also find us on Blue Sky. Search for Axiom Games LLC because Blue Sky addresses are huge. Other than that, you can also contact us on Discord. The link to that is in the description below, and you can feel us in all of our shows from there. Hope you guys are enjoying. Hope you guys like the new rules. It's definitely making it a little bit more tense as to when I save. So hopefully it creates a little bit more, ooh, is he going to die? And we'll be back next week, see how Claude Van Helgen is doing.